the 6th of 2023. I'd like to welcome everybody to the work session of the Limestone County Commission. I know we have several public comments today. We try to hold to 3 minutes, just for the respect of everybody having a chance to talk, but we will be around. We'll take a 15-minute recess between the work session and the commission meeting, and you're welcome to talk to any of us then, or we will hang around after the meeting if y'all want to talk to us after the meeting. But I know just out of respect to give everybody an opportunity, we try to hold to 3 minutes. So if the bell dings off, just try to finish up where you're at, and we'll finish up during the meeting. So with that being said, Ellen, do we have any public comment?
We do. William Barber.
Mr. Barber, if you don't mind stepping here to the microphone, please, sir.
Yes, sir. My name is William Barber. I live on 12528 Lucas Ferry Road in Athens, which is in the county. And I'm here because of the asphalt plant that's being put in literally in my backyard, less than 350 yards from my house. I'm pretty disappointed in this going up. Grayson Carter and Sons are not friends of the county and not friends of the city. Definitely not friends of its neighbors. With that said, this had to be a process that's been going on for more than the last 2 months that we've heard about it. Usually an asphalt plant, you're going to plan out at least 2 years in advance. And seeing how that land that they're using was de-annexed by the city of Athens, pretty remarkable process that went through, without notification of its neighbors about de-annexation, so that we had a chance to ask questions like why is it being de-annexed. I also, and the city's stonewalling us, saying they didn't know what was happening, which we know is a bald-faced lie. But for the county to see a piece of city property de-annexed, we assume, common sense tells us, that the county commission should have known about this de-annexation and the possible plans of the property. I was here at the last meeting, and I'd asked everybody here, what's going on with this land? At the last meeting, you all had voted on the subdivision of the property, 10 acres of it. Nobody, to include the county engineer, knew what was going on out there. That was what I was being told. I talked to Halston Carter himself on my property line. What are you doing out here? Oh, nothing. Why'd you de-annex 10 acres? Oh, we're putting in a drop yard for equipment and materials. Are you putting in a housing division, a subdivision? Oh, no, we're not doing nothing. Bald-faced lie. So it tells me the kind of people we're dealing with Halston Carter and with that industry. With that said, we need help. We need help. I'm going to have dump trucks coming and going, constant, bringing in aggregate and dumping it, taking out asphalt when the plant's up and running. So I'm living in an asphalt plant, along with a bunch of my neighbors, to go along with all the pollutions that come along with it. They requested a permit from ADEM, an air clean permit. That permit is only going to be good for one aspect of this plant, and that's for the bag plant, to clean the air from crushing the aggregate. That's all fine and dandy. They're storing liquid asphalt, and we're not talking a couple of gallons. They're going to be storing liquid petroleum to run the vehicles and run the rest of the plant. That's a lot of mess. Dirt roads, kicking up dust. We already see what they did to Moyers. They're also destroying Lucas Ferry. We need help.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Next,
Stan Hogan.
Mr. Hogan.
Good morning. My name is Stan Hogan. I live at 18755 Moyers Road, which is about 1,300 foot from the proposed plant. Typically, when you contact a county commissioner, the statement you get, well, we inherited this problem from the city, or there's really nothing we can do about it. There was a 2-week period for the air permit comment, and I've read every one of them, and I don't believe I've read any of y'all's comments. So y'all are part of this problem. You inherited this 2 years ago. You dealt with the issue 2 years ago. You've let the roads be destroyed while under your supervision. We'd like to know why. Why would you not stand up for your citizens that you're supposed to represent? Turning a blind eye is not the way to act. What if you woke up tomorrow morning and your house was worth 50% of what it was the day before? Would you be happy about it? We really need your help. And not the attitude, well, there's nothing we can do. Have y'all estimated the number of vehicles if this plant is at 50% production? Would y'all know that? You got engineers that can tell you. It's about 30 to 40,000 trucks a year that y'all don't have a problem with driving on Moyers or Browns Ferry. There's things you can do. Not speaking up during the comment period was not what you should have done. You should have stood up and done something. Just do something. There's opportunities that you could help the situation. And we'd like to talk to you about them, but we're limited in time. But I would like to talk to you about it afterwards. But if you had 250 to 400 trucks a day driving in front of your house, and you're woken up in the mornings by tailgates slamming, would you be happy about it? When nighttime paving starts, how is that going to work? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Owen. Next, Ellen.
Tommy Gordon.
Mr. Gordon.
Excuse me. I'm Tommy Gordon. I live at 13400 Lucas Ferry Road. The plant, we own the property right across Moyers Road from the plant. Trucks already are hard. They're 90 to nothing up and down Lucas Ferry, Moyers. We're kind of in that cusp. We don't know who is supposed to take care of the roads, the city or the county. I had somebody across the road joyriding the other night. I called the city. Well, they can't come out there because it's in the county. We need some definition of what's what, where's where. And this plant's going to kill us. It's going to devalue all our properties. Probably already has. I mean, who wants to live by an asphalt plant? There's places they could put it. The city had, y'all have industrial parks for things like this. No one is, why isn't something like that being done, looked at from that angle? But anyway, I heard about it on the news. That's where we learned about it, was on the news. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. Next, Ellen.
Michael Redwine.
Morning. My name is Michael Redwine. My wife and I and our daughter, we live on 14655 Lucas Ferry. We're supposed to be reading part of a prepared statement, but I'm just going to ask a few simple questions that I hope will be laid out in the minutes for the next meeting. Were we to, as a community, able to get enough pressure on you gentlemen? What is it within the county's purview to do in order to stop this asphalt plant? Are there any rules? Are there any regulations that can be put forward to stop this plant from being built? There's already been it's documented that the people running this facility, whatever it is now, broke the law for 2 years straight, and nobody said anything. Nobody did anything that we know of, as a community that we know of. There are things that can and should be done And we as a community would like those things to be leveraged in our favor, because a lot of us are getting ready to lose a lot. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
You don't have any further comments?
All right, no further comments? All right. Thank you, everybody, for speaking today. If you have any, like I said, between the meeting and after the meeting, we'll all be around to speak with us one-on-one if you need to. So moving on, first thing on the agenda for today is we'll have the minutes from January the 17th of 2023. Anybody got any discussion with the minutes? All right, next thing on here, we'll have the claims to be paid in the amount of $2,714,534.59. Anybody got any discussion with the claims paid or any claim? All right, public hearing, we have none. Resolutions and orders. We'll have number one on here will be to approve a resolution setting a public hearing for March the 20th of 2023 to approve the modifications of an existing solid waste management site located at 16100 BFI Lane, Athens, Alabama. And this here is for the transfer station. As most people knows, we had a fire out there earlier in the year, and they're going to actually model another one beside it and put right beside it to where we can keep operating. So that is what this is about. So if anybody has anything with that, that'll be a public hearing set for March the 20th. And that's with the Solid Waste Authority, which the Solid Waste Authority is half city, half county. So that's how that comes around.
What money we talking about there?
It's a bid proposal coming back in. I hadn't seen them yet. They were just bidded out. They just sent it out for bids and it hadn't
And
come
we
back
hadn't
yet.
seen any bids. They sent it
Probably
out
less
for
than a
bid a few
million
weeks ago.
for metal building, probably less than $1 million
I
for a
don't know
metal
the
building.
number. It's more than just the metal building.
Yeah,
They've also
but-
got to build the concrete pad and everything, the foundations, and put in new drives to access it. So it's the
Could be more.
full construction. So
Yeah, it'd be-
we haven't seen the bid yet. But
And-
this is just for ADEM to be able to begin their process.
And there will be another facility built beside it, and this will be for the new facility. And the other facility we'll rebuild after we get this one going, so. All right, any more discussion with that? Any more questions? And second one on here will be to approve a resolution approving the state of approximately the sale of approximately two acre location tract, 2 acres located at Clyde Mabry Drive in the Athens, Limestone County Highway 31 Park for the amount of $20,000 per acre. For more, authorizing the chairman to execute any and all documents and instruments that may be necessary to complete the county portion of this closing of the sale of this property. And this was some of the property that we own down next to the health department. And we have sold some of that 2 or 3 times, and us and the city owns it 50-50, and that's about all of that. It's not much of it left down there, but it is a little bit left down there still. We have 2 more tracks, I believe, so. That is what this sale is consist of. Anybody got any discussion with that? And this will be for Happy Pappy Food Service. All right, any more discussion with that? All right, next thing on here, contracts, agreements, and MOUs and grants. We have, first on here will be to approve an agreement to lease 3 copiers and purchase 1 of the following departments. And A portion will be 2 copiers leases for the probate judge's office for general use and recording desk. And the second one is 2 copiers, 1 to be leased, 1 to be a service agreement for the sheriff's office, it's dispatchers and investigation. Anybody got a discussion with that? Second on here will be to approve a grant for the Federal Bureau of Justice assistance in the amount of $2,064.40 for bulletproof vest for the sheriff's office. This is a 50-50 match grant, and the other portion will be paid through the sheriff's office budget. Anybody got discussion with that grant? All right, number 3 will be to approve the termination of the Southern Health Partners contract pursuant to the procedures as stated in the contract. This is for the inmate medical at the jail. And this is to terminate the contract with Southern Health Partners. Anybody got a discussion with that? All right. Budget revisions, we have a couple on here. The first one on here is for EMA, and it's for $130,500. And this is for to go along with the generator where we're putting in down there, which they have got to put in. They're working on putting that in now. So And the second one will be for the commission office for $42,000. And as most people knows by now, the commission office hadn't had heat now in several days. We've had a boiler down there that has went bad. It's several years old, and of course, when you've got a 1930s model building, you've got a ton of stuff you've got to update to redo all of this. So the boiler itself was like 20-something thousand, and to go along with everything to go along with it. So I just wanted everybody to be aware of what this is. Anybody got any discussion with that?
Mr. Chairman, on that EMA generator, are they going to, is that the propane generator that they're going to? And
Natural gas, I think it is. I think it's
Is
actual
it natural gas?
I believe it is natural gas. I'm
not
100% sure it's
on the-
natural
on the
gas.
fuel
Eddie's not
source,
here. Okay.
But yeah, it's not, they're getting rid of the diesel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be diesel.
Yeah, it's natural gas.
Okay, so it is a replacement for that diesel tank.
Yes, we're doing away
Oh,
with the
they're
diesel.
having trouble with it, so,
Yeah, it's going to natural gas.
okay.
Yep. All right, and number two is, and this is right here is just a customary to kind of put on the budget. We are, as most everybody knows, we're starting a solid waste department, and this number two on here would be to approve the solid waste department budget in the amount of $3,065,373. And this is for the operation of the solid waste, and it's just to put it into the budget for the year. Anybody got any discussion with that?
Yeah, I think there was like 400,000 that would possibly have to be transferred in from the general fund. Is that,
That's because of us having to lease the trucks, and as we're doing the purchase, the lease cost is.
this is related to our garbage or the solid waste department leasing truck?
It's the solid waste leasing truck.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of that budget. It's just,
So
it's
is that-
just,
is that
the
saying-
startup costs and everything will put us, could potentially.
Startup
on a
costs of what for?
Startup costs of solid waste department.
Okay.
And,
I got
So leasing of the trucks and the purchase of everything, so that's just part of that.
Okay.
And on discussion on that, I know Steve Gatlis here. I want to thank CCS Garbage for all the years of service they have given us. He's retiring, and another thing is we won't have any revenue in there for a couple of months because Steve has a contract until April the 1st, and it's prorated a month behind. So we will actually we'll have to have some money to start with because we don't have any revenue. I mean, it won't be until
We will
we won't
operate
generate
the
any
month
revenue
prior
for.
to receiving revenues. So that's just getting everything on our cycle. With that, we tried to put a conservative number in there so that we knew we had the funds to operate.
So that's a lot of what that is. Anybody got any more discussion? All right, no emergency purchases, board appointments, we have several. Number one on here is to appoint Bobby Jackson to the Limestone County Water and Sewer Authority board. And this is District 1, Mr. Darrell Sammett's nomination, and it's effective March the 1st of 2023, and this will be for a 6-year term. You got anything to mention on him, Darrell?
This is, Johnny Hatchett, his term limits on the water board here, and his terms are up, and I chose Mr. Bobby Jackson, who I think will do us a good job on that board.
Is he an educator?
He has been.
42 years.
Yeah, he has retired, and that's, he has since, and I know Bobby has been on dealing with the sports, he's dealt with a lot of the federal money and also he'll be really good at this stuff out there, Bobby will, so.
Yes, sir.
And I think that, and the second one on here will be to reappoint Richard Robinson, which he has served one term as a District 4 nomination. And LaDon, you got anything with that?
I just want to thank Richard. He's done a really good job on that thing for 6 years. He has been somebody's really kept an eye on that thing, got the water department in good shape. I mean, I know at one time the other water department was kind of struggling, but he's been on that board now for 6 years and has done a really good job. So I'm going to reappoint him. So I just want to thank him.
And on another note, I just want to thank them for their service. I had worked at the Water Authority for 17 years, and, I want to thank them for their service and what they have done for the Water Authority. And I know Johnny has done a good job. He's just termed out, and
Yep.
Richard has done a good job, too. So thank both the gentlemen. All right, moving on, we had another one here. And these number 3 and 4 are both kind of the same, and if y'all don't mind, we'll just take them up together. It's 2 ladies to be reappointed on the NCA 310 board, and that's the National North Central Alabama Mental Retardation Authority, and that's what that number stands for, if anybody wants to know what the numbers stand for. But So if y'all don't mind, we'll just put them both in one motion, and we'll reappoint Miss Jennifer White and Caroline Page, both on that board, and they have served on that board for a term already, and it's a 6-year term, and they have done a really good job, and they have both asked to be reappointed, so. Anybody got any discussion with either one of those ladies?
Know they'll do a good job,
Yeah.
like they always have.
Yeah, and I want to thank them both for their service, because it's not a paid board position, it's just,
Oh, that's right.
just something they do out of the goodness of their heart, so. All right, award of bids, we have several here. First one will be business cards for printers and stationery for $265. The concrete pipe one is for Foley. We hadn't had a bid for quite a while, and this is something we really needed. And this price is for a total, of everything. That's not,
That's
we're
just
not
an
gonna spend that much
estimated
money.
total.
That's just a group price of the price of everything that we bid, so. That's every size pipe and everything, so it's per foot, per pipe, like it always has been. That's just, when they bid, they give us a bid of a total number there, so that's what that is. So don't think that we're paying that much right off the bat, so. And the gasoline and diesel, which will go to W.H. Thomas, it's 30 cents over rack margin, and, this is, W.H. Thomas has had it before, and we've had a Z's. They're the lowest responsible bidder. I know we've had some issues with that other, that's right here is why we went with W.H. Thomas. And, the fourth one on there is inmate health care services, and when we went with turnkey, well, the sheriff's office chose to go with turnkey. We sent that out for bid, and I know the sheriff has come in. If anybody has any question there, he'd be more than welcome to answer anything on that after we're having. You have any statement on it now? All right, and this right here will be for inmate medical at the jail. This has been a long process, and I know the sheriff has worked hard on it, and everybody else has too, and Drew and everybody. I want to thank them for it. But it's for a year service. This is for the first fixed cost of the first year service at the jail for inmate medical. Anybody got any? And this will go for 24-hour care versus what we have had in the past. So, has anybody got any discussion with any one of these bids? All right. The next one on here will be to approve financing through Bryant Bank in the amount of $2,875,177.88 at an interest rate of 3.22 fixed percent for the purchase of 10 new dump trucks and beds, and then 2 pull tractor lowboys. This is to be effective this will be a 15-month single payment and principal and interest and all at maturity. And we have done this all these years past. This is for the dump trucks that we purchase every year and to keep. So anybody got a discussion with that? Bryant Bank was the lowest bidder by far. So thank Bryant Bank for their bid on it. All right, then next one on here will be to approve the financing through Bryant Bank in the amount of $555,920.84 at an interest rate this is 3.79 fixed percent at for 3 garbage trucks and term limits of 60 months. So that was it's annual payments of the principal and interest. So anybody got any discussion with that? And that's for the 3 garbage trucks that we already have down at Ingram's, yes. So anybody got a discussion with that? All right, personnel action, we have several today. Moving on, we'll have approved to hire Angela Baldwin as superintendent of the solid waste department. Anybody got a discussion with her? All right, second on here will be to approve to hire Brad Carter as a facility technician effective on February the 6th of 2023. Anybody got a discussion with him? All right, third on here will be to approve to hire Kathy Robertson as a part-time council on aging van driver. Anybody got any discussion with her? Number 4 will be to approve to hire Tyler McBay as equipment operator 2 in District 3, pending a drug screening. Derek, you got anything on him? All right. I know you need some help, eh?
We are still about 1 district short.
All right. And so I know he'll do you a good job. Number 5, be to approve to transfer Bryson Leopard from the corrections officer to a patrol deputy effective February the 6th of 23. Anybody got any discussion with him? Number 6 will be to approve to hire Krista McCurry as a grants, communication, relations, and legal specialist effective February the 21st of 23. She will be transferring from the probate judge's office up to working with Drew. So anybody got a discussion with her? And number 7 will be to approve to update the staffing plan to reflect the job positions and departments as previously approved by the commission meeting And we just had never updated the staffing plan with some of the jobs we've added with solid waste and other things, so that's all that's for. All right, and merit increases, we have several listed below, and we actually have one that got left off the list, and I gave you all a sheet, or Ellen did, of Hope Woods. She's from the License Commission Officer, and I know Joseph was out sick the other day, so we got it. We have got it, Joseph. I seen him come in somewhere, so. Hope will be on there for her merit increase, so. Anybody got any discussion with anybody on the merit increases? All right, at this point, the engineer's report, I'll turn it over to Mr. Massey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 6 subdivisions for your consideration today. Kennedy Estates, replat of Tract 4 and 5, and Cannon Estates, replat of Lot 5. This is a minor for preliminary and final, so it's taking those three lots listed and making 2 lots in District 3. Clements Heights replat of Lot 18. This is a minor for preliminary and final, creating 3 lots in District 4. Lentzville Ridge, this is a minor for preliminary and final, creating 4 lots in District 4. Florence Road subdivision, this is a replat of lots 45A, 46A, and 47A. This is a minor for preliminary and final, creating 4 lots out of those 3 listed in District 3. And then Links at Southern Gales, this is a major for preliminary approval, creating 77 lots in District 1. And then Oakland Meadows subdivision, this is a replat of Lot 15 of Block 3. This is a minor for preliminary and final, creating 2 lots out of that 1 listed in District 1.
All right. Anybody got any discussion with anything going on with any of the subdivisions that's been approved?
I was pleased to be left out.
That's unusual. You very seldom ever get left out in District 2, Danny. Well, anybody else got any discussion? All right, no more discussion. We approved to sell, other business, we have to approve to sell a couple of items on Gov Deals. These are both out of District 3, the surplus equipment. I'm quite sure you got anything on either one, Rick?
No, that military truck for I think 6, 7, 8 years, not used a whole lot from my understanding. We're gonna try to sell it, maybe use that money to buy something we use on a regular basis. It's a game plan, so.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Gatwin. Anybody else? Okay, so anybody else got any more discussion with anything on this item? So that being said, we will recess for 15 minutes, so let's just come back at 9:45. If anybody has any discussion, they're welcome to talk to us now to give us a couple extra minutes.